Everyone that likes to cook has their favorite cooking pans and serving dishes, but for me, a box of simple mason jars is my go-to favorite. I used 125 milliliter or 4-ounce size mason jars to create this collection of puddings, and scaled the recipes to make 3 portions for my diet control, but these classic recipes can easily be scaled up if needed. I am a huge fan of the classic dessert puddings, so it is easy to start a collection of wholesome unprocessed pudding recipes because the recipes I like to use were created a long time ago, when people had to make their own ingredients and the ultra-processing techniques used today did not exist. Pudding ideas are everywhere. Supermarkets are filled with them, but if you are like me and are concerned about what the large manufacturing companies are putting into them, then a collection of simple unprocessed mason jar pudding recipes might ease some of your concerns. Steamed pudding, pot de creme, creme caramel, pudding cake, crumble, buckle, and cheesecake are perfect desserts to cook and serve in individual sized mason jars. But I like to combine flavors and add sauces, whipped creams, ice creams, sorbets, gelatos, and garnishes to create a more interesting and detailed dessert without all the chemical preservation technologies added. Very dense desserts like custard puddings are very easy to make, especially when they are cooked in individual sized mason jars using a sous vide method. Even the most complicated self-saucing caramel or flan is perfect for the mason jar sous vide method because the heat circulated water cooks the custard evenly and seals the jar airtight. Some of the earliest recipes for puddings were cooked in a pudding tin, partially submerged in a pot of water and placed over the fire to steam. But a better method of cooking a steamed pudding today is sous vide. I like to poach fruit and cook custards using Ziploc style freezer bags and heat circulated water because this method also gives me perfect results. Dessert menus should have a variety of choices, so an assortment of classic ice cream flavors like vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate are fun. But fresh old-fashioned buttermilk ice creams and sherbets are a real treat for people that like authentic country-style puddings, like crumbles and buckles, and serving them in small mason jars adds to this utilitarian rustic theme. The fun part about making rustic puddings in individually sized mason jars is when you can serve them warm so the ice cream can melt into them, creating unique flavor combinations and textures. Light and fluffy, rich and decadent, or creamy and smooth. Choosing different pudding textures for your menu and how the flavors and textures will work together is also important. A light and fluffy lemon pudding cake with raspberry sauce and whipped cream is a very soft, soufflé textured pudding that creates an intensely flavored dessert as the collapsing layers melt together inside of the jar. A rich and decadent brownie is probably the most popular type of dessert bar in the world, with lots of different strategies to make the best recipe or formula. I like a gooey fudge type brownie over a cakey one, and I use small mason jars to bake and serve individual brownies in like a pudding, warmed up with a scoop of ice cream on top. The combination of a warm gooey chocolate brownie and melty caramel ice cream is the epitome of a decadent dessert. I love cheesecake and enjoy making a completely unprocessed sous vide recipe, which is the best I've ever tasted, and I don't say that lightly because there is a lot of extra work involved in making cheesecake taste of the freshest ingredients possible. Grinding organic local wheat berries to make graham flour, making creme fraiche, cream cheese, and vanilla extract are all homemade ingredients that look intimidating at first but are easy to make. Starting from scratch, we can engineer our little mason jar puddings to be the flavor we want, but the plain, creamy, smooth New York-style vanilla with a graham cracker crust is historic, especially if it is served with a strawberry compote. Another way we can add interesting details to a mason jar pudding is a garnish. Herbs, flowers, fruit, whipped cream, sauces, and sugars can take an ordinary pudding and turn it into a spectacular one. Pot de creme can be turned into a creme brulee by caramelizing a layer of sugar on top, and lots of different types of sugars can be used. Scraping the back of a chocolate bar with a small peeling knife is a fast way to make chocolate curls to decorate the top of whipped cream, and assembling simple custards and puddings in layers with a dollop of whipped cream allows garnishes to stand out. The different types of flavor combinations, temperature combinations, and texture combinations can create a different experience inside each durable little jar.